Joining us now on the line is Stuart Varney from the Fox Business Network. He's my favorite guest.
Wow.
He's my
I'm going to tell all the other guests.
No,
I'm going to tell Joe DeGeneva. I'm going to tell KT McFarland.
I'll tell you what, because Stuart Varney, he brings it. Every time he comes on the air, he brings everything that he has. All of that intellect and that smooth English accent. Yeah. Hey, listen, how are you, Stuart?
Whoa, Brian. Oh, love you, baby.
All right, so bring the fire here. I want to talk about Obamacare and the fact that the president worked out a deal that lets Congress be exempted from Obamacare. Obamacare foisted on the entire nation, and Congress says, oh, well, but we don't have to play along. What do you think about that?
You want to hear outrage? I'll give you some outrage because I'm hearing it from our viewers today. Here's another exemption. Here's another group of people who do not have to abide by the terms of the bill that was passed 3 years ago. They're opting out because the terms are onerous. If members of Congress and their staffs had to go with Obamacare, they would lose the subsidies which they currently get from their employer, the federal government. They don't want to lose those subsidies, so they've got an exemption from Obamacare. I mean, it's like carving out your own special turf because you can. The rest of us can't. We're in this thing, and we don't like it.
You know what? I got to tell you, Nancy Pelosi, who said at the time that this legislation was being considered by Congress, we have to pass it to find out what's in it. She was all in favor of this exemption for congressional staff and members of Congress, saying, well, there is unintended, this is a quote, I'm not making this up, unintended collateral damage. We were going to lose folks to the private sector. In other words, there was going to be an impact on us. And I just stand there in amazement and said, woman, do you not understand what you are saying?
We're going to lose folks to the private sector? Oh, catastrophe. Oh, yeah, I'll give you outrage, Brian. Just look at the response around this great country to what they're doing. I think chaos is right in front of us. Chaos in our wonderful medical system. That's what's going to happen to us. Now, I don't know what the political fallout of that is going to be in 2014, but I don't think Congress will be successful in its attempts to either defund it or repeal it in the short term. I think it's here.
Stuart Varney's our guest, of course, on Fox Business Network every day at 9:20. You can see Varney and Company. You should see Varney and Company every day. Make sure you do. And Stuart, listen, over on Varney and Company, you have spoken for years now about the housing bubble and what caused it, the troubles with Freddie and Fannie. And, the president earlier this week spoke to a high school in Arizona. Boy, those kids look bored in that speech, too, if you've seen the video. But he talked about housing in particular, and it sounded to me like he wanted to go right back to where we were in terms of incentivizing Freddie and Fannie and the various banks and forcing them to provide these very unsafe mortgages for people to own their first home. Did you hear it the same way I heard it?
Oh, absolutely the same. Yes, precisely the same.
And we're finally, the housing market's finally starting to show some life in certain areas of this country.
Yes, it is. What the president wants to do is get banks to issue more mortgages, but tell the banks who they're going to lend to and at what rate. It is a form of social engineering.
Well, that's what we just went through. That was the big mistake of the past. Did we learn nothing?
We're doing it all over again, shoehorning people into home loans which they cannot repay, putting them to a house that they cannot afford. And at some point in the future, it will be still the taxpayer who picks up the tab for the mess that is going to be created. This is a short-term, it sounds good politically, doesn't it? I'm helping the middle class. I'm helping the distressed.
Right, got to get first-time homeowners to get their house. Yeah, everyone wants people to be a homeowner, of course. It's a great idea.
It's a good social goal. I mean, that's one of the great things about America.
But the way you do that is build up the economy so that people have success, and then they can afford to do it the right way, not give them something for nothing that is only going to collapse later.
Precisely. What we need above all else is growth. We need 4, 5, 6% growth for the economy, which will put us on a sound footing. We're not going to get that with President Obama's policies, and we're absolutely going to return to the past with his housing policy.
Well,
I mean, you can feel the outrage building in me.
I do, I know, and I want to poke the bear a little more. I mean, the good news here is, other than the 3 minutes we've just spent talking about it, not a lot of people paid attention to what the president said. How did the market react? Did anything hit the bank stocks or the housing market?
No, the bank stocks are reacting to entirely separate factors, namely strong profits from most of the big financial institutions.
How dare they?
But yes, they're doing well. They're making serious money. But they are under attack. Wall Street is still wildly unpopular, and there is a political attack on them, fining them for this, laying criminal charges for that, investigating this, that, and the other. So they've got 6 of one and half a dozen of the other to deal with. There was no response to the housing. Well, they made a response. Some bankers said, look, we don't want this. We don't want to be told who to lend to all over again. And that's what they see coming.
All right. The stock market, though, has been a little ambivalent, I think is the word I would use, about what to do, given the fact that they're not real sure what the Fed is going to do.
Yeah, but, we're still at 15,400. What's that, a couple of hundred points away from the record high? That's not much of a pullback in the face of this possibility that Ben will print less money. Personally, I think that Janet Yellen is a shoo-in to succeed Ben Bernanke, and if and when that happens, she will keep on printing, if not more printing. That's where she's coming. She's a Berkeley academic.
So you think Yellen is the person and Larry Summers is not in the mix?
Yes, I do. Well, look, I'm sure there's a contest between the two, and I understand that.
Because I heard the president gave a very, a very passionate defense of Larry Summers in a closed-door meeting on Capitol Hill.
Yes, I heard that too. But at the end of the day, my opinion is Yellen gets it. Female, academic, way left of center, going to print up a storm from Berkeley. Can you beat that?
Oh,
no,
boy.
You can't.
All right, and Stuart Varney, one last thing. You're up in New York City, lamentably so. We'd love to have you here.
Yeah, we
but
wish you were closer.
You're up in America's second most important city, and of course, A-Rod is all over the newspaper. Do you have an opinion about performance-enhancing drugs? I know that you're a big sports fan. What do you think?
Yeah, that's very good, Larry. Look,
asking the English guy about baseball.
Well, no, because
I'm inclined to say you use that once and you're gone.
Really?
That's it. You're gone.
You're strict on that.
It's done. One strike and you're out.
I'm afraid so, yes, because the current system really is not working. The steroid era is being dragged into yet another decade, for heaven's sake, and the sport is really hurting. Did you know that the TV ratings for the All-Star game were lower than the ratings for a preseason football game?
Well, but Stuart, some would argue that the ratings are down because they're not using the steroids. We used to get a lot more home runs hit back during the steroid era.
Yeah, but
and people were
how
watching.
many young people are playing baseball these days compared
That's right.
to other sports?
Yeah.
I mean,
point.
I'm a parent. Do I want to see my kid play a sport which is tainted by steroids? Do I want to see my kids go into that line of business, using performance-enhancing drugs? The answer is no. It's tainted.
All right, Stuart. You know I always like to throw you a curveball. But that's as Brian said, you bring it, Stuart Varney.
Where's the curveball? Baseball from an Englishman? I guess that's a curveball.
That's a curveball.
We'll do cricket next week. All right, Stuart Varney. Thank you for
Thanks,
joining
Stuart.
us.